we had a great schedule figured out. And she's sleeping 12 hours now, 3 months. So, just in between naps, I would definitely say. So not naps for us, naps for the girls.
Well, you might need some too at this point.
Yeah, it's funny. Like anyone that has kids, you want to get a lot done during nap, but you're also like, should I lay down? What should I do? But for me, it's always like, all right, let's get stuff done around the house and make sure mom gets her sleep. So.
Last time someone yelled "Nuge" in your direction.
I don't remember specifically, but it kind of
has it been a while
happens
ago?
every now and then.
It does
Yeah, it's not as huge.
It wasn't
as
like last week,
here.
but it might not have been 10 years ago. Is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should expect it tomorrow.
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I still deserve it. I guess.
I think Hall of Fame is probably.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about these Ohio State fans. I mean, the loyalty is unbelievable, and we've lived in Scottsdale the past 7 years, so it's just the amount of alumni out in Arizona. It's great, just how the people get together for games, and you can run into somebody and be like, "Oh, I grew up in 2 blocks from you, or 2 miles away." So that's great.
When was the last time you were at Ohio Stadium?
My wife and I came to a night game. You guys will probably remember. Probably 3 years ago. It was pretty good. Maybe Minnesota, but it was just kind of middle of the season random game. But yeah, these days I've been catching them on TV as much as possible.
When you committed here, did you envision your career this Hall of Fame? I mean, was any of that in your mind as a 17, 18-year-old coming out of high school?
Looking back, I can definitely say I was the kind of person that really thought about what's going on right now. So before I even got offered, I wasn't one of these guys who had 20 schools to choose from, but I got the offer about 2 weeks before signing date. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, I got to win this job first. So I feel like I was good about that. Like, I got to win this job rather than looking too far ahead. So then it kind of started evolving a little bit, getting a little bit more comfortable. My freshman year, went 50%. I missed 7 field goals, and so that was tough, and competed back and forth all season. But then kind of got in my groove, like spring ball after my freshman season.
Who was it that was here with you?
Josh Houston.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So what was that competition like, coming in as a freshman and trying to fight for the job?
I mean, it was tough. It was kind of like anything. In high school, you're definitely going to get competition, but not so much as a kicker. But then you're competing with someone. And I had seen Josh kick a lot. We had been in kicking camps together, so I knew he was very good. And I knew it was one of those things that's, at the end of the day, it's kind of like golf. Golfers are, in my opinion, almost competing against the course and the weather rather than each other. Obviously, their scores get compared, but kicking's the same way. It's me against the uprights and the weather, not so much. And then my scores are just going to get compared to the guy next to me. So I think that's kind of the way I've always looked at it.
AJ just said you're more of an athlete than a lot of kickers. Played quarterback, and he talked about playing basketball with you and whatnot. Could you have played another position?
High school, yes,
okay.
But I mean, once I got on the field in college, you just realize these guys are such amazing athletes. I mean, yeah, I can make a tackle on kickoff, but I'm not going to run a route better than somebody or faster or make a tackle better than any guy on the field. So I can say confidently kicking was my only thing. If anything, I could have maybe punted, but that's it. Yeah. Nothing past that.
What are your earliest AJ Hawk memories?
Shoot, I met AJ. We played. He was so good. He always played up a year, like when we were playing like Pee Wee football. So I met him a little bit before I was in 6th grade, and he was in like maybe 5th or 4th at the time. And you could just see like, okay, this guy's gonna be good. Like, he's gonna be special. Just one of those guys where give him a ball and he's gonna be great at whatever sport it is. And but you could just see there was everybody, then there was AJ kind of playing at a level above everybody, and it's no surprise that he's here tonight. He's got a Super Bowl ring. So
Can you imagine that you guys back when you were in 5th grade might be here?
Honestly, I'm not just saying it, but I can imagine him doing it. But for me at the time, I'm like, I'm kind of the only kid in 6th grade that kicks. So I'm like, maybe I can do this for the 6th grade team. Then it was maybe I can do it in high school. Maybe I can do it in college. And I'm like, all right, maybe I can just keep doing it. And it just kind of evolved into the next step.
He was talking about how Ohio State was, in high school, he just felt like he was working toward an Ohio State offer. That's what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
What was your mindset when you were looking at colleges? Were you in a similar boat?
Yeah, it was always, I don't want to say in the back of my mind Ohio State. It was always like the main goal. Like, if I could get to Ohio State, that's number one. That's my ultimate place I'd love to go. But the timing worked out a little funny where Dan Stoltz was the starting kicker. I would have been a true freshman coming in. So Coach Cooper wanted to have Josh Houston come in and be a redshirt, have a redshirt year and kind of get acclimated. And which I can't argue with the timing of that. That's great timing. But luckily, Coach Tressel came in, and it's a funny story. Coach D'Antonio from Michigan State was the recruiting coordinator at Michigan State. We basically had a kickoff between me and another guy, and they gave him the job, which I was really upset about because I kicked great. And D'Antonio came over here, and his joke to me is always like, hey, I brought up your name in our first staff meeting because I think there was some scholarships left. And he said, I know this Nugent kid, and so I owe a lot to Mark D'Antonio because his thing he'll always say about me is, if it wasn't for me, you would have never gone to Ohio State. So it's just the tiny little things that just add up, and just sometimes you have to have luck on your side.
Typical Hall of Fame questions. How did you find out the news?
I was just kind of just at home out in Scottsdale and just got a phone call. Pretty basic, but awesome news.
You answered it then?
Yeah.
AJ said they had to call him several times.
Yeah. I can't say confidently that I answered it right away. I probably didn't because I didn't recognize the number at first. But once I did get the call, just overcome with a lot of emotion. You have kids and cry at everything. So especially girls, just everything. It's a little thing I see them do. It makes you want to cry. So it was just one of those things. I was just really excited to get the news.
And then, are there any specific memories or anything that stand out when you look back at your Ohio State career?
I was just talking about earlier. You think about certain games and national championship and kind of the typical things you would say, but my biggest thing, I was lucky enough, my senior year was a home Michigan game, which was just, you're unlucky if you have an away game Michigan for your last game. So I got lucky that it was at home, and just running through the tunnel and seeing past players and seeing Coach Tressel at the end and seeing my parents on the field was just, I was crying my eyes out and just thinking like I gotta suck it up and get ready to play a game. Luckily I had a great day, but that's probably my favorite memory at Ohio State, just being on the field with my parents and them being able to see what I've seen for the past 4 years.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh, no problem, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.